So today I thought, kind of in honor of, actually, in honor of the sun moving into Cancer, which is the sign of nurturing and the heart. I thought it'd be kind of nice to focus more on the upper body meridians a little bit. So we'll start with sitting comfortably to begin with, and just allowing your spine to be long, your eyes soft or closed. And we'll start to elongate the breath. So just relaxing everything, our belly, as we draw the breath in and down into the pelvis. Perhaps waiting a little moment and then exhaling all the air up and out. Just allowing ourselves to come into our breath and relax the mind, just letting go of any thoughts about the future, the past, any efforts, just coming into this moment. And as we breathe, we're going to do something a little different. So everyone knows what mudras are, where you bring your thumb and the tip of fingers together. Hold them as you breathe. So we're going to begin by bringing our thumb and pinky fingers together and just keep breathing here as you just gently press your thumbs and your pinky fingers into each other. Not too hard, just gently. And by doing this, we activate the heart meridian, which ends in the pinky finger. The heart chakra. Just breathing. That's also where the small intestine meridian ends as well. So there's a connection between our heart and our small intestine. And then we'll move to the ring fingers, thumb pressing into ring fingers as we breathe. And here we give a little stimulation to the pericardium meridian, as well as the triple warmer. So they both come to the end of our ring fingers. Allowing the jaw to relax, the tongue, the brow, the belly, the shoulders, and then moving to the middle finger, the next finger, the longest finger, and pressing the thumbs into there as we breathe. And this just stimulates again the pericardium channel. Pericardium is the sac that holds the heart. So in Chinese medicine, the pericardium is considered an organ of its own, on its own. So it's called the heart's emperor. It's the protector of the heart, keeping out all negative influences. And then moving to the forefinger, the first finger, pressing there as we breathe. Here is where we activate our large intestine channel. We'll go ahead and release the mudras, and we'll come into a butterfly pose. When we'll bring the feet out in front of us, or could say a star pose, butterfly pose, and we'll thread our arms underneath the legs, underneath the ankles. So the outer ankle bone will rest on somewhere on the wrist area. So wherever that is for you, you can find, just let your ankles rest on your wrists. Hold on to your feet. Your feet can be together or they can be a little bit apart. Whatever feels good to you. Just relaxing forward here. So both the heart channel and the pericardium channel run across the front of the wrists, the inner wrist. So by doing this, we just stimulate those channels. We breathe. And you might like to just relax your head forward and let your spine get a nice stretch as well. In Chinese medicine, the heart is the root of life, the seat of the spirit, or shen. Heart is responsible for our shen energy, which has also been called the energy of joy. The official or ruling organ that governs our mind as well as our spirit. It's the central organ, the body. Pericardium, which works closely with our heart, the governor of our heart, is in Chinese medicine considered the organ from which happiness comes. Okay, so you can go ahead and sort of undo those hands underneath your ankle, sliding them back out, up. If you want to move your legs in whatever way to you. And we'll need our strap here. So we'll grab that. And you can come into either a shoelace, full shoelace with your right leg stacked on top of your left, or a untied or broken shoelace, it's called. So we'll just, whatever works for you. So the right leg will be in front of the left leg, and the legs can be as far away from you as you're comfortable. It can always change that. And we'll take hold of our strap with our right hand on top, our right arm on top, and our left arm back. So really start slowly with this, especially with that arm that's in back. So start loose with your strap. So no need to tighten it up right away, but you can start where there's some resistance. Feel that internal and that external rotation of the shoulder. Make sure that we're not pulling our head forward. And I like to have my back hand laying flat against my back, in line with my wrist, so there doesn't cramp up my wrist at all. Just find what works for you. Just breathing here. After a little bit, your hands can come together more. You can always migrate them closer, but just not pushing it, not bringing our torso forward or our head. Remembering that it's always time, not intensity. Yin, that magic ingredient. Nice way to also get a stretch on the underneath of the upper arm. Anytime you'd like to let go of your strap, feel free to do so. You can stay here longer, or you can, your shoulders have had enough, it feels like enough for you, you can just release the strap and forward fold over your legs. Always tune into our body and listen to our body. We want to feel the stretch, we want to feel the resistance. Also just tuning in and knowing, when is that enough? Might feel really quite good to some people, actually. And to others, it can be very, pretty uncomfortable. So it can, one of those poses that really run the gamut, those extremes. I'm releasing my strap, but feel free to stay if you'd like. But whenever you feel like it's long enough, you can release and just forward fold over your legs and bring the focus more into the hips, into the outer hips. Also move your feet if you're untied. Move your feet farther away from you. Just kind of find where it feels just right. That Goldilocks position, calling in. Not too much, not too little, just right. Now that we're just past we're on the other side of the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, and the sun is in the sign of Cancer, sign of the mother, the sign of home, moon ruled sign that is all about nurturing, self care, love, and caring, caring for ourselves, caring for those we love. And also the planet Venus and the planet Mercury are with the sun in Cancer. So there's quite a bit of that energy right now, which is nice to tune into and flow with. Okay, so we can just slowly start to press ourselves up from here and do whatever feels good to your legs and hips. Move around, shake. And then we'll bring the left leg on top. If you're stacking your legs, or the left leg forward in front of the right leg, the untied version. Take our strap and left arm on top, right arm behind us. So, and making sure we start in a place that feels not too resistant. We're not pulling ourselves forward, but just finding how far, how close together. Might be a little different on this side than the other, depending on your shoulders. the heart channel and the pericardium channel run along the inside, more on the inside of the arm. And the small intestine channel runs more along the outside, across the underneath the arm and across the elbow, right down forearm that way. So stimulate and sort of engage all of our upper body meridians, really, when we involve our arms and shoulders. Might like to just also meditate on our heart or bring our awareness into the heart. It's a good opportunity to do that, right? And feel your heart. Science knows now that our heart is actually the central organ of the body, not the mind. And the heart, our heart has its own brain. It's actually the main brain of the body. What governs our heart and emotions and feelings as well as our mind. Oftentimes, imbalances on the mental or the emotional level stem from imbalances in the pericardium channel or the heart channel as well. The pericardium protects the heart, so it's that outer force field around the heart that bears the brunt, could say, of any negative influences. So anytime you feel like you need to come out of the upper body part of this, feel free to do that or stay as long as it feels right. I learned recently, fairly recently, that it only takes 3 seconds for the heart to recognize whether it likes or feels safe, comfortable with something or somebody, or whether it doesn't. So you meet someone and within 3 seconds you feel like, yes, I really like this person, or I'm comfortable with this person, or the opposite. It's always a good idea to go with that. To trust that. Go ahead and release my strap now and just fold forward over my legs a little while. So feel free to do that or stay longer with your upper body. Okay, so we can start to slowly here. Ooh, and when you get to sitting, uncross and just move the legs. And it feels good to maybe bring the hands behind us and bring our feet in close to our hips. We can lift and lower the hips a few times. So and we'll come around to our belly from here. So come into Sphinx pose, and maybe we should start in an infant pose to engage our back muscles. Let's bring our arms alongside our body and just reach back and lift up into infant for a couple of breaths. Engage all of our back muscles. And then bringing our elbows underneath our shoulders into Sphinx. Maybe doing a little rock side to side, relaxing the pelvis. Also lift the feet if you want to increase that compression and stretch. Sphinx and seal pose are a good way to stretch the stomach channel that runs up the front of our thighs and hips and belly. Get into that channel a little bit. Of course, by having our weight on our arms, we're engaging all of our upper body channels, strengthening the shoulders. Well as, of course, the kidneys and the kidney channel, which very much engaged in this back bend pose and nurtured. So we'll take a short break in half frog on the left side. You slide your left knee up and slide your right arm underneath the left shoulder. Just sort of reach that arm and rest the head on top of your left hand or arm. Get a stretch through that upper shoulder, upper back. Okay, we'll go ahead and slide that leg down and slide our right arm back through to come back into Sphinx or come into Seal. If you prefer Seal, just straighten your arms, widening them apart a little bit, spreading the fingers, and maybe turning them out a little bit. Or you might do assisted Seal with your forearms, your elbows on block. That. If it's too much for the wrists, with that version. Nice to be able to do some weight bearing on the wrists. So weight bearing on the wrists is helpful for strengthening our bones and helping to prevent bone loss, as well as this activates the upper body meridians of heart, pericardium, and triple warmer. The triple warmer gets engaged. Triple warmer is not an organ in itself, it's actually the interrelated working of the respiratory system, the digestive system, and the elimination system. So the channel governs the interrelationship between all of those systems in our body. So of course, feel free to come in and out of any of the variations of Sphinx and Seal that feels right for you today. Making sure our breath isn't labored or having a difficult time breathing. Our body telling us that it's a little too much. It's okay if you find yourself breathing a little bit deeper in a more strenuous yin pose. That's totally fine. Breathe a little more deeply and fully. You are up in Seal. You might start to make your way down to Sphinx gradually. We'll come into a half frog on the right side, drawing our right knee up and sliding our left arm underneath the shoulder and lying down on top of our right hand or arm. And then we'll slide our right leg down and bring our left arm back through and make our way up onto our knees. Or you might like to sit if you're not able to be on your knees, just sit to move your spine in a little cat-cow movement. You can do that sitting as well. Just start to round the back, curl the tailbone under. Maybe sit back a little bit toward the heels if that feels good to you, and then come into extension, slowly moving gently between that rounding and arching of our spine. We can just circle our hips and let our body just kind of circle around, just going however it wants to, and move in a spirally kind of movement. Rib cage, hips, maybe the head, and the other direction. Letting our spine move. We're going to sit back into a child's pose. You could have your legs together or apart as you like. And here, what we'll do is we'll bring our elbows onto the ground. Sit back to the heels with your elbows on the ground, and we'll bring our fingertips together, sort of press them together over our head, right? So we feel a stretch under the shoulders, right? And we activate those meridians at the tips of our fingers. So just kind of stretch back here. Hopefully you can relax your head on the ground. And you can just take your arms forward, bring your arms in front of you and come up from there. If you happen to be on your back, you could obviously just be in a happy baby. We're going to come around to our back and our blocks. And like I said, if you prefer to use a pillow or if you don't have blocks, you can use a pillow. But if you have a block to put lengthwise under your shoulders like that, and one to support your head, that is one way to do this. Just kind of find your block under your rib cage, your shoulders, and find your head, whatever orientation you need that block to be under your head, and just let your arms stretch out from your shoulders. And here we'll open our chest, get a nice stretch. Then we might just open our knees apart for a nice supine butterfly here. Your feet as close or as far away from you as feels right. Breathe here for a little bit as we allow our chest and our heart to open, expand, a nice stretch through the front of our shoulders, arms. Just by simply doing a pose that is an opening type of pose, such as this is, we're opening our hips, we're opening our chest. It's a very sort of vulnerable type of pose. Just by putting ourselves into a pose like this, we can help to open our heart, right? And open ourselves up a little bit more, maybe to our own intuition, to our own heart. So anytime you feel the need to do that, you can always just come into this nice passive sort of opening pose. Get in touch more with our inner heart. Of course, this is also good for the spine and our posture to bend our spine in this direction instead of kind of counterpose to all the forward folding that happens. Whether we're sitting or doing yin or looking at our phone, computer. Okay, you can go ahead and lift your knees. And we'll just slowly bring ourselves up from here. You might just kind of roll onto one side and come up that way. And take the blocks out. You might use them for assistance in the twist if you like. We're going to come on to our back here and just pull the knees into chest and kind of rock around, maybe curl into a nice little ball, bringing our head towards our knees. And then letting our head relax down. Bring your left foot to the ground and extending the right leg to the ceiling. Let your left knee drop open to the side and just give this leg a stretch up here. So you might hold on to your calf or thigh or whatever. And just give that leg a stretch. Move your foot, circle it or flex and point. Then we're going to guide our leg across the body. Make sure you have bolster or something for support, or use your arm if that's all you need to support that leg, and letting the right arm extend out from the right shoulder. If you want to keep the leg straight for a while, get a stretch through the outer leg and hip. But if there's any tingling sensation, you might just let your knee bend or lower the leg down a little bit, something like that if it's tingly. That's the sciatic nerve channel. Be careful of that. Lift the leg a little higher, just kind of find where it feels right. Anytime you want to allow your leg to bend and just relax in the twist, feel free to do that. Be here for a couple of minutes. Was one of the most nurturing things we can do for ourselves. The supine twist. Okay, so we can start to slowly come up by maybe grabbing hold of our right leg and pulling ourselves onto our back. And just hug your knees in. You need to switch your bolstering over to the other side. we'll put our right foot down and extend our left leg up to the ceiling. And you can just let your right knee drop open to the side. Give this left leg a little stretch. And wherever you can hold on, just move the foot, circle the ankle. And then we'll guide our a leg across, maybe keeping it straight for a while if that works for you. Extending the left arm out and making sure our leg is supported in some way here. You happen to have something to brace your leg against, table or a wall or something. That's always nice for helping to get that stretch through the outer leg a little bit more. I have a table to brace my leg on this side. Always nice if you really want to stretch that outer hip and thigh, that IT band, right? Supported twist like this. You want to just let that knee bend, of course, just relax in the twist and let your knee be higher up or lower down, depending on what feels right. Allowing our breath to massage our internal organs. Particularly the digestive organs, stomach, intestines. You might like to stay in the twist a little bit longer. Feel free to do that. Come out whenever it feels right. Slowly out onto the back. And we'll just take a little bit of time to integrate. So finding a comfortable position for your body and just allowing your breath to be full and even, circulating that energy, chi throughout our body, through all those channels, right, as we feel, notice how we feel, notice how our breath is, notice how our mind is. Just giving thanks to our body for being there, giving thanks to our breath, gratitude to Gaia, to Mother, for always being there. And a little quote from Pablo Picasso: "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." Just feel free to continue to lie there and relax, or whenever you feel ready to get up slowly. And I'll just thank you all for coming. Have a beautiful day, and I'll stop the recording.